Hello, learners. Good day. Welcome once again to Inhinyerong Cowboy YouTube channel. Uh, if you observe, my audio today is improved because I already checked my OBS application and found out that there are settings to be adjusted so that we will be able to meet good quality audio. Okay, so last time in project construction and management learning session, we stopped on the preparation of Gantt chart. Okay, so today, we are now on the material supply. Okay, so for the construction pre-planning. Okay, so material supply, guys, is very important in the construction industry because all projects needed materials. Okay, so if you can observe in our estimates, materials is in the percentage of materials in the project is uh, more than 50% of its total cost. So meaning that's how important material supply is in the completion of a project. Okay, so that is why in construction pre-planning, it is very important that materials are prepared. Okay, so before the construction. Okay, so buying of materials is an important activity in all construction work. Okay, so this is what I explained a while ago, that every construction activity materials is more than 50% of its total cost. Okay, so if we are a big company, so we have a contractor. Okay, so in the preparation of the material, the contractor should do the following. Okay, so number one, the contractor needs to determine his material requirements and schedule a sequence of its deliveries. Okay, so if you are the owner, you should ask the contractor of this material list, or let us say list of materials, or bill of quantities, and also its corresponding schedule of deliveries. Okay, so that during the construction, the owner can monitor the progress of the project. Okay, then number two, the contractor should refer the material quotations received at the time of preparing his bid. Okay, so if you are a contractor, while preparing your estimate or your bid, uh, especially if you are conducting a very big project, you need to request for quotations for other company who are suppliers of these materials. Okay, so you need to during the estimates, you need to compile the quotations so that it will be your basis during the construction. Okay, so that if there are increase in cost, you can be notified or you can be alerted. Okay, so this is in connection with the project cost. Okay, so number three, prepare a purchasing program for construction materials. Okay, so this program is like a Gantt chart or a schedule. Okay, and also the processes of your purchasing department. Okay, so you have to prepare this one. The objective of this program is for a smooth uh, smooth running of the project. Okay, so remember that if you will be delayed in the materials, meaning a delay on the project. Okay? Okay, so purchase orders are prepared in triplicate, so meaning 3 copies, with the original going to the job site. Okay, so this is a document activity. Then the purchase order form should contain all the information. Okay, so this one. Okay, so you can have this one on some of the forms for PO are in a whole bond paper, or some are in a clock crosswise cut paper. Then these items are on that paper. So number one is the description of materials. Okay. Number two, the quantities required. So how many materials you need on the job site during that purchase. Okay. So number three, the time and place of delivery. So this one, if you have many job sites, so you need to put the time, okay, and place, so that the driver or the one who will receive the materials will not be confused. Okay, so number four is the unit price. Okay, so this will be the purpose of this one is for the monitoring of cost. Okay, so this is the work of the cost engineer of the company. Okay, so number five, lastly, is the amount. Okay, so amount of the materials. So these 5 items are needed in the PO. Okay, so it should be all of these items should have data on it. Okay. Next is financial and budgeting. Okay, so remember guys that in every project it is an investment of the owner. So finances is very important, because without it, how can the project move? Okay, so how will you pay your suppliers and also your people doing the project? Then if you will not do that, you will not be paid also by the owner. So that is why investors or construction companies has huge financial capabilities. See, especially the big ones. Okay, so a business must have sufficient capital, is structured to sustain its growth. Okay. Okay, so number one, let us say factor in construction business is the profit motive. Okay, so profit motive is the predominant factor of the survival of the company. Okay, so imagine guys, if your company uh, has no profit on it, so how can the company grow? Okay, how can he pay his people? How can he help other people to have job? Okay, so that is why most of the company always look in the profit, but it must be ideal, not super big. Okay. Okay, so the other factor is the budget. Okay, so budget is the long-term responsibility of management to use in investment. Okay, so this is the budget of the contractor to a certain project. Okay, so that is why budget, it is really connected with the estimated cost. Okay, so that is why the quantity surveyors or the cost engineers are very essential in the preparation of bid. So this is where they generate the data and the budget of the project. Okay. Okay, so types of budget. So there are 2. Okay, so number 1 is the static budget. Okay, so depends on the ability to predict income. So I think this is fixed. Okay, this is a fixed budget. Okay, so variable budget recognizes the unreliability of income prediction, and make provisions in advance. Okay, meaning these ones can be flexible. Okay. Okay, so budget preparation. Okay, so budget estimate in each department. Okay, so the ideal preparation of a budget, if you are doing a construction business, especially this is if this is big, if do the estimate by department. Okay, so department meaning if you have disciplines in the construction in your company. Example, you have structural department, civil structural, you have electrical department, electronics department, mechanical department, or other department related to your project. You can for ideal estimate and faster and it as a reliable estimate, it must be done by department. Okay, then the load also will be will be assigned to each department. Okay, the good thing also for that one is the specialty of each cost engineer. Okay, so because you cannot allow or you cannot allow example civil engineer to estimate in the electrical works because that is not his discipline or that is not his line. So maybe there are items that that will be missed if he will do the estimate. Okay, then the financial budget. Okay, so financial budget represents a summary of the anticipated income and disbursement for the budget period. Okay, then the procurement process. Okay, so this one is the processes for buying the materials and equipment for the project. Okay, so this one is very important in construction for getting the right materials delivered from the suppliers. Okay, so why right materials is very important in construction? Okay, so simply it is because there are projects that has quality inspectors. Okay, so imagine if you deliver a substandard material, then during the activity, you will be stopped by the inspection committee or inspection team of the owner because you are not using the right materials or the designed materials for that project. Okay, so that is the consequences if you delivered the not right or the substandard materials. Okay, so that is why the procurement process is very important in the completion of the project. Okay. Okay, so the one who will purchase the materials. Okay, so the purchasing agent. Okay, so he or she will be responsible. Okay, so for maintaining the following major factors. Okay, so number one, the quality of the materials. Okay, he or she should be equipped with knowledge about the materials. Maybe the supplier will give him or her a low quality materials, then it will be delivered on site. So you already lost time in that matter. Okay, so if you return that one, then remember that you have targets or schedule. So you need to prevent that kind of scenario in your job site. Okay, so number two is the quantity of the materials. Okay, so how many materials must be delivered, okay, on site to finish a project. Okay, so imagine guys, if you need example 100 uh, 16 mm diameter deform bars, say 100, then during your activity the purchasing agent give you only, let us say, 90 pieces of rebars. So what will happen? Okay, so this will means delay of the activity. Okay, so because you will wait until this 20 rebars to be delivered. Okay, so meaning, so you lost your target time, and also the money you pay on your people, because they will be on standby if the materials are not delivered on the right quantity. Okay? So number three is the time of delivery. So you need to be strict on time. Okay? So remember that you have targets, you have schedule. Okay? So anything that will be hindrance on that schedule means delay of your project. Okay, so number four, price of the materials. Okay, so this one is for the owner side. Okay, so we need to check the price of the materials. Maybe that materials is very high on prices. Okay. Okay, so next is the inventory control. Okay, so if we are big companies, inventory control is very essential. Okay, on the ongoing projects. Okay, so this is where we get our materials and see if we have stocks on it. Okay, so inventory control. The number one aim of this control is in providing adequate but not excessive supply of materials at hand. So meaning you have a right quantity of materials but not too much. Okay, so you have, let us say, a tolerance of how many materials that's allowed to be on excess. Okay, meaning you have spare, so but not too much. Okay, for some companies the inventory control has two functions. Okay, so number one is the safety stock of materials, meaning your materials is safe. Okay, safe on people, outsiders. Okay, so because there are scenarios that project materials on site were lost. Okay, because of some outsiders who want to get that material and use them for on their own. Okay, so meaning thief. Okay. Number two is the inventories permit a company to operate with disconnected processes. Okay. Okay, so site management at work. Okay, so this one is talking about the safety concern of the site. Okay, so safety in the project construction must be given primary concern. Okay, so if you observe in big companies, there is always a sign talking about safety first. Okay, so meaning value our life first. Okay, meaning if you work on a unsafe job site, so what can you observe if you will work in a unsafe job site? So meaning you are close to your grave. Okay, so meaning you are close to an accident. Maybe it will cost your life. Okay, so that is why in every job site, or let us say plant, if you are a mining engineer, or you are in the industry in electrical or ACE, safety is their primary concern. Okay, so there are safety officers on site. Okay, so usually for the safety officers are very strict. Okay, so very strict on the people doing on site. Okay, okay, so it's the immediate supervisor's responsibilities to see if the working place is properly arranged and maintained. Okay, so this is the work of the supervisor. See to it that your people are safe. Okay, so don't be mad to your supervisor if you are being scolded because maybe because you are doing unsafe practices on the job site. Then supervisors must see to it that all workers do follow the safe working habits. Then a safety-minded project engineer has the following mindsets. Okay, so these are the habits or the quality of a project engineer which has a minded safety mind. Okay. So number one is minimize manual handling hazards of materials. Number two, we locate control and fuse panels where they can be reached safely. Okay. So this is related to the electrical on the job site. We'll install strong and rigid forms and scaffoldings. So remember, scaffoldings are the one who will elevate your personnel. So any non-rigid structure on this means unsafe practices. Okay, and your people will be on a dangerous side. Okay, so number 4 will insulate all live wires and screen high pressure areas. Okay, so number 5 will adequately guard belting and line shafting even if it is normally accessible. Okay, so that was the 5 items the project engineer must see on the job site. Okay. The number 5 is the planned maintenance. Okay, so planned maintenance meaning this is an organized attempt to prevent a sudden breakdown in equipment and periodic shutdowns for repairs. Okay, so remember guys, if we are on site or if we are on the plant, if we are mining engineers, equipment is very important. Meaning, if your equipment experiences a breakdown, meaning you have no work. Okay, so that is why management need to prepare a planned maintenance to its equipment and to its let us say equipment and its personnel. Okay, so personnel is the one who will handling the equipment. Okay, so effective maintenance of the plant and equipment is a prerequisite to efficient operation and uninterrupted activities. Okay, so machine and equipment are subject to wear and tear from use. Okay, so meaning equipment has a lifespan. Okay, so there are times that the machine will break down. Okay, so to prevent that one in happening, we need to have a plan maintenance. Okay, so I think that's all for the learning session 3 for the construction pre-planning. I hope you learned something from this learning session in construction pre-planning for project construction and management subject. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and be notified for my new videos. Okay, so thank you for listening. God bless.